Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video, we're going to preview round 24 of the 2025 NRL Fantasy season. Excuse me. So before we get into my team, we'll have a look at the lucky ducks that still have trades up their sleeve and who they're trading in, who they're trading out this week. So the Who's Hot list is topped by Latrell Mitchell. So obviously an elite wing fullback. I guess the only knock on Latrell is that he does have a bye coming up in round 26 from memory. So you are trading him in for just 3 matches, whereas other options may get you a 4th match. So obviously, if you're more of a head-to-head player and need to match up and win this week or next week, obviously as well, Latrell's a great option. But if you're relying on him for a 4-week stint, you're going to be disappointed 1 week. Adam Dewey at number 2. So I already have him in my team, but I do like this pick, given that he is in the number 7 jersey. So you imagine he'll do a fair bit of the kicking and organising. Let Jerome Luai do his thing with the running game a bit more. Um, Obviously not defending in the middle, so maybe a few less tackles, but Adam Dewey I think is a solid pick for your team. Pat Carrigan, so probably the most reliable mid besides a Payne Haas, Terrell May, that have had their buys. So you've got the likes of Fanua Blake, Joe Tarpany on the buy coming up. Obviously Isaiah Yeo still injured. So we are a little bit light on for middle. So I think Pat Carrigan is a fairly safe pick. Kai Pearce-Paul has been quite good on the edge. The sort of maybe second half of the season. So yeah, I think there's worse picks than KPP moving forward. James Tedesco, great pick at wing fullback. If you haven't got him, get him in. Big Tino back this week, so if you are looking for a middle, I reckon you could do worse than bringing in Tino. Sam Walker, obviously going really well in the halves. Might not get the attacking output this week against the Dogs, given their defence. And I think the Roosters do have a couple of tough fixtures, but he is the dominant half there. So I think he is one you could bring in if you're looking for a half this week. Jermaine Hopgood, so I haven't really paid too much attention to him. I think he might be back in the 13 role. I'm not 100% on that. But obviously he went all right last week with the 62. 500k. So I guess if you are looking for, again, a middle around that price point, you could do worse. Yeah, it looks like the minutes have increased. They were down a bit through the middle of the season, but leading into the finals, maybe he's getting some good game time. Tyron Wishart, so obviously quite cheap in the halves. Tough matchup against Penrith this week, but I think at his price point with the 80 minutes, he'll be decent value. Eli Katoa, so again, tough matchup this week, but you know, can go big, and that's what you want to chase in these last few weeks is those sort of upside plays. And Eli Katoa definitely fits the bill there. Terrell May, a few people might have traded him out on the buy last week. He's easily top 3 mid keeper. Potential captaincy option every week. Bring him in. Buchanan gets another run, so if you need a cheap centre or just a downgrade option to upgrade elsewhere, I think you could look at him. Payne Haas, copy and paste what I said about Terrell May, bring him in. Harry Grant, obviously, as we said with the Melbourne assets, a tough matchup this week, but he does have that upside of making stuff happen, attacking wise around him, so you could bring him in. And Jaden Campbell, dominant half there at the Titans, so I think he's one you can definitely bring in. on the outs this week, Isaiah Yo with that injury is one that can go. Joey Tarpany on the bye this week. I think if you can cover him this week, he is a hold because he will come back and be useful for the rest of the season. Zach Hosking, pretty similar sort of boat. I'd probably have Tarpany over Hosking, but um, yeah, if you can find a way to hold, I would. Jamal Fogarty, again, if you can hold this week, do so. If not, reluctant trade out. Adam Reynolds is a trade out though with the injury. Farnworth's out with injury. Mam's out with injury. Pappenhausen's a concussion, so perhaps wait a week if you can. Hubner, I did see he's out. I'm not sure if it was that the shoulder injury maybe that he had. I haven't looked too closely at that, but I think he's one you can chop. He's not a keeper in the middle anyway. Hudson Young, I would hold. Probably trade Hosking and maybe these guys before him. As a Hudson Young owner, I'm definitely not trading, even if I had trades left. K Weeks is one I think you can chop. He's probably doesn't have the base to uh, to to make holding him sustainable. Corey Horsburgh's an interesting one. Probably like a Zach Hosking. I think he is one you can't afford to move on. Ewan Aitken, not sure if there's injury involved, but yeah. So I saw it was Duncan and Host were on the edges this week, so not sure why Aitken's not there. So let's chop him. Nicker suspended for the rest of the regular season, so he can go. And Kurt Catewell out with concussion, so probably a luxury trade out. But in terms of my team this week, it hasn't changed from the round review from Monday. So just go on the safe captaincy options this week. Kind of boring, but we're looking to keep that top 5K dream alive. So it kind of makes sense. We will loop Curran and Dewey depending on how it goes Friday night. Um, but I think Curran's going to have to score pretty decent. I'm thinking at least 40 points for me to want to leave Dewey out. But yeah, I think that's all. We'll wrap this one up nice and short. Obviously, without a lot of trades, can't look at too much anyway. But I guess as always, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the fantasy content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.